Welcome to Scrapbooking Beautiful Layouts by Locky Creations. Hi friends, welcome back to Locky Creations. Today I'm just popping on to show you a quick project that I recently finished. This features the Pinkfresh Studio Animonie Magic stamp and cut set, which is these beautiful stamps, and it also has a corresponding die cut, as well as I actually loved it so much I bought the set, and I've used this set quite a bit. So it was a trio. It was the stamp when I originally bought it. It was a stamp with this thick washi tape, and you know I love purple, so with the purple washi tape, and you also can cut the washi tape out with your cut. So it's a stamp and cut set, which is just beautiful, and you can use the washi tape. But for this project I just did the stamp and the cut. I did not use the washi because I wanted yellow flowers. So these yellow flowers that you see featured here, as well as the black flowers that you see, are all a part of that Animonie Magic stamp and cut set. There's a little one here off to the side. There's some black, the black sprigs. This section here down on this cluster, all of that was done with using the Animonie Magic. For the black flowers, I used some glittery some glittery embossing and my embossing ink, and I just embossed that top to give it a sheen, to just make that pop against the black and white paper. This layout features my daughter, who was a class of 2020 high school graduate, and had a picture of myself who was, I'm not going to say the year, but the year's here, I'm going to cover it up. So I just got a picture of my high school graduation photo and my daughter's and put it side by side, and I've been wanting to do something with this since she graduated, so I finally got around to doing this project. Another product that I use on this layout, which I got at Walmart, and I actually got it, somehow they had misplaced it and it was on clearance. This We Are Memory Keepers punch board. This has become my new thing. Like, this thing is wonderful. I think it's around maybe 20 bucks, but someone had mislabeled it on clearance, so I think I got it for like around 7 or 8 bucks. So, you know, I'm a thrifty crafter, thrifty shopper, so I was really impressed by that. So using that punch board, I was able to create the like mother, and I just cut it out, backed it on white cardstock, and just distressed the edges using my Tim Holtz Ranger ink in antique linen. So use that product as well. I also used, for these flowers that you see in the middle, I used the stamp, or excuse me, a die cut set that I purchased from Amazon that has just a cluster of these different circle dies. So I used those and I layered 2 of the sizes to create those circles. And the paper that I used was this paper kit purchased from, I can't remember if it was Joann's or Michael's, but anyway, it's an American Crafts, and this is one of the 6x6 paper pads. This is a really cute paper pad. I think I purchased this one last spring, and I was recently at, had to be Joann's, at Joann's, and I saw this same kit. So this is still available as of February 2022. Okay, so that was what created that paper, those shapes. I also used, let me bring it up a little bit. So my first step in the process was I used some embossed, sorry, got my products confused here. I used some texture paste to emboss, and the texture paste I use is Also by Ranger, it's the matte opaque texture paste. I use this pretty much almost on everything, and this spatula that I'm using to point. So I initially started out by embossing just a plain white piece of cardstock. Now I did not gesso this first because I was just being lazy, so I didn't gesso at first, and it actually kind of worked out for me, so I took a chance. So anyway, first I embossed where you can see those sections. There's a big area around here in the back, some over here you can kind of see peeking off, as well as the side. So I embossed with this stencil. I think this stencil I also purchased on Amazon. There was a pack of 4 different stencils, and it's a 6x6, I believe, size. So anyway, I embossed, yes, I embossed the back white cardstock, and I'm just using basic white cardstock, no particular brand. Used the texture paste and the stencil, this stencil that was purchased from Amazon, and this spatula to create that textured shape on the back. Then my next step in the process, I just used a plain water spray bottle, and I used this time to get that color. I also used a different distress oxide in broken china. So to get that blue effect, I used the broken china and I sprayed a little bit of water over some packaging material, did the packaging technique, and smudged that on my paper, and smudged it in with the paintbrush, spread it around. So that's how I was able to get that blue. And of course, because I used the texture paste, that just allows it to go between the print. Okay, so that's definitely an effect that if you want to just add more texture and interest to your page, you can, once you dry your texture paste shape, then you get a little bit of packaging, put a little bit of water. I've done this on several process videos before, and you just go ahead so because I use the texture paste, it will add like this resist effect so that the color will go kind of in between that print. So really love the effect of that. And you can see I did some splattering, and with that splattering, I didn't want it to be too heavy, so before it totally dried, I just dabbed it up with my paper towel roll, which is why you see my paper towel roll with all those blue speckles, okay? Just to kind of give it just a subtle speckle effect. I also, to just further develop my mixed media background, I did use a couple stamps, and these were just random stamps that I got from a stamp set that I purchased from, I believe, Michael's, but it had these 2 strips. And so basically what I did on my stamp block, I used a clear stamp block, and I just stamped well, you get the idea. I just stamped with this same broken china to get the tone on tone effect. Stamp those in several places to create those floral and lines. Now when I stamped it, this particular stamp kind of had a gritty effect, so I just took my paintbrush and just kind of spread that paint out evenly, and that actually gave it this nice, very distressed look, like this one that I'm pointing at right here. So basically those 3 techniques I used to develop my mixed media background, starting with the stencil and the texture paste, then going in with my distressed oxide and my water spray bottle, paintbrush, packaging. Then the 3rd technique was to stamp with these stamps in my clear ink block, which I cannot find at the moment. So that's how I created my background. So then I did a lot of different flowers. I've already talked about how I used this paper, this particular page, to create those flowers out of this American Crafts 6x6 paper pad. And this is a Jen Hadfield homemade design. It's Patio Party is the name of that one. I already spoke about how I used my Pinkfresh Studios Anemone Magic stamp and cut set. And I did that twice in the yellow pattern paper with just black ink. And then I also did it in this black and gray floral paper that I had with black embossing. I use this black embossing ink, Black Sparkle. This is very pretty. This is also a Ranger product. I'm not surprised because it's just beautiful. So this is what created that. You can hardly see it because the flowers are tucked, but it created this kind of shimmer on top of that gray and black and white flower. So maybe this one you might be able to see it a little bit, but it just gives it that nice shimmer glittery effect. So, oh, last thing, after I also used another Stampin' Cut set that I got from Amazon just to create these little black and white flowers. I added several of those. I added just some black, and these actually came from Walmart, just some black rhinestone stickers, as well as these white pearl stickers, which I believe also came from Walmart. So there you have it. There's my page. I hope you have enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to see more about some of the techniques that I use, please check out some of my other videos on my channel where I've gone into details on how to create these effects. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and as always, be blessed.